Run along the shoreline to empty her mind of Mark, and she would be born again on the banks of the Pamlico Sound. This was where she belonged, where she wanted to be. Wasn't it? She ran, jerkily at first, until her muscles limbered up and she got the hang of her old style. Head up, elbows bent, fists loosely clenched. Her breathing was deep and regular, the tang of salt air perfumed to her senses. A soft woof at her heels made her swivel, never breaking her running stride. "Hey, Bismarck, good to see you. Beat you to the end of the strip." The Irish setter dug in his paws and sprinted ahead of her, his russet sleekness there one moment and gone the next. He knew if he made it back to the dock ahead of the slim girl with the blonde flying pigtails, he would find a treat in the carryall resting on the end of the dock. And if he were extra lucky, and the girl was obliged, he could fully expect to have his belly scratched for at least 10 minutes. "Look at you! You're not even panting," Cathy gasped as she collapsed onto the smooth planks. "I'm out of condition," she said, fondling the dog. "But it's a temporary state of affairs. By the end of summer, I'll race you to the point and win it hands down. Here, you deserve this," she said, handing him a salmon-colored biscuit. Cathy poured herself a cup of coffee from the thermos and sat nibbling on her sweet roll. "Bet you're surprised to see me home, right? Well, you see, it was like this. Things got a little sticky back there in the Big Apple, and I sort of cut out and ran, back to Dad and you. I'm not really different from the others. It's my values that are different. I know this sounds corny and girls my age don't think in terms of saving themselves, but I do. I don't know how to make the bar scene, and I don't bed hop. Maybe I'm right and maybe I'm wrong. I just don't know anymore." Bismarck ceased gnawing on his biscuit. His ears pricked up, not at the words she was uttering, but at the tone of her voice. He slinked his way up to the girl on his belly and forced his shaggy head into the crook of her arm, willing her to laugh and hug him like she always did. Cathy laughed. "I have you. Is that what you're trying to tell me? Girl's best friend, loyal, devoted, and loving. You've got it all, Bismarck. You'll never forsake me. However," she said, clasping his head in her hands, "you don't make my heart pound and my senses reel. And what good are you on a cold winter's night?" "Roll over," she ordered, "so I can scratch your belly." Bismarck didn't have to be told a second time. This was what life was all about. "I brought Teak Helm's galleys for his new book with me. His last book was a 1,000,000-copy bestseller, and this one promises to be even better. If I were his editor, Bismarck, I'd take him in hand and... Actually," Cathy lowered her voice to a mere whisper, "I just might get to do that when I go back to New York. Teak's editor is moving to the West Coast, and my boss told me I'm in line for the job." Imagine me, Cathy Bissette, a little old North Carolina girl, being Teak Helm's editor. What a life he must lead. All those wonderful sea adventures, the true life stories he creates. Now there's a man I would like to meet. Cathy turned at the sound of her name being called in time to notice two things: her father sauntering down to the dock, and a swift motor launch churning through the brackish water to her left. Bismarck, shaken from his moments of ecstasy, scrambled to his feet, barking wildly at the intruding launch. "It looks like we've got company," Lucas Bissette said in his gravelly voice. "Powerful company, from the sound of that launch. Rich, too, from the looks of that motor yacht riding at anchor out there." "A bit early for visitors," Cathy said, an ominous feeling settling between her shoulders. Her breath quickened at the sight of the sleek launch, bow raised, water cutting back in white pluming arcs as it sped by the hull. The now golden dawn cast everything into a yellow nimbus, and she could see the occupants of the launch as the pilot cut back his engines. A tall, broad-shouldered, masculine figure manned the wheel, and a breathtakingly beautiful woman was at his side. Lucas Bissette and Cathy stood waiting, a welcoming